So good evening. Even more exciting news today. It's Thursday and I've just had a visit from a guy from Olympus. I won't tell you his name because I haven't asked him if I can use his name on here, but a lovely fella. Took the time to come out and he brought to me this bag of goodies. So let's have a look what we've got inside. I bought a microphone. Those you talking about the sound quality. Goes in the iPhone. Hopefully that will be okay. The iPhone I'm recording this on is on a gimbal by DJI, but it doesn't work with a microphone because unfortunately where the plugs in is where the gimbal has to hold it. So never mind. Anyway, back to the bag. Let's have a look. The bag came with it. The Olympus symbol on here. Nice big bag, actually. Beautifully put together. Loads of storage, and you'll be surprised once I show you what's in it. That is nowhere near as heavy as my Canon kit is at the moment. And the focal length, or the focal range I've got in here is quite amazing. So we have an Olympus OMD E1 Mark II, and that is the 12, no it isn't, it's a 7 to 14mm lens. 7mm, unbelievable. How are we going to rest that there to show you like that. Camera, I'm absolutely flabbergasted some of the things it will do. This is the 12 to 100mm Pro lens. Step back a bit. There we go. That's the lens I was thinking about buying, and I'll tell you why in a minute. And this is the 40 to 150. Okay, zoom with mount. I've also got in here somewhere a 1.4 teleconverter. Okay, oh, and another motor drive, or another drive, although there's already one on the camera, so we've got two of those, and spare battery. So the camera, he's taken me through the features, or some of the features. I mean, it's so customizable. I can see why people are baffled by it. I can see why people get really confused by it, but I've not really ever been into cameras too much, but now I am a little bit more. Now I'm looking around, I always make sure I research things very carefully. So I'm going to really enjoy getting to know this. It looks like it's quite simple. There's just so much of it to customize. This has got so this lens on here with the Olympus, you double it, so that's equivalent to a 14 to 28mm lens. Okay, 40mm lens is amazing, great for landscapes. This is also good for landscapes. This one, 12 to 100, is roughly 24 to 200 equivalent. Okay, that's a hell of a range on the zoom lens. This one, I'll leave the teleconverter for a second. This one, equivalent to 80 to 300, f2.8 I believe it is, throughout the range. Watch this focusing hood, the lens hood, just does that. And then you just twist it and it goes back again. Don't even need to take it off. Very clever. And that converter will convert everything by 1.4 times. So basically we're going to have something like a 400mm lens on here. Okay, so if I look, I've got 14mm up to 400 in 3 lenses. Okay, a lot lighter than the Canon. I'd say the Canon, I'll do it a weigh next time. I'll weigh all 3 of them. If I look up here, so the Fuji, again, this one you double. No, you don't. You times it by 1.5. So this has got a 10 to 24 lens on it, which is equivalent of 15mm to something like, what would that be, 35mm. And with the lenses that Yanis has kindly lend me, that will go up to 600mm completely from that 15mm all the way up to 600. So slightly longer focal length than the Olympus. The Canon, this is my wide angle lens of choice, and that's only a 24mm. Okay, these are full frame cameras. That will be the equivalent of 35mm anyway, so that's 24 to 70. I've also got a 70 to 200 zoom. So 24 to 200, 15 to 600, and the Olympus is 14 to 400. So both this and this will be giving me a longer focal length than I've already got. This has done me proud. However, I'm quite excited to use the wider angle lenses, the ultra wides that I've used before. When I use this one, which you can't see, the 7D, that's not a full frame, that's a crop sensor, and I used to use a 10 to 20 Sigma lens on there, which was equivalent of what the Fuji and the Olympus are giving me. So, room for thought. The next thing I'll do is I'm going to get all 3 cameras and weigh them. Actually, I'll do that. So, 3 camera kits to try. One I've already know very well, the Canon, so the Fuji and the Olympus, this one here. Now, I was going to talk to you about this lens, why this would be the lens that I would buy, and the reason for that is it's a 12 to 100 Pro lens, f4. It's got stabilization on it, which means I can hand hold it. The stabilization sinks in with the body. So the body's got, I think it's got 5 stops of image stabilization, plus the lens got another 1.5. So altogether with this, I've got 6.5 stops of image stabilization. I've watched videos, I've spoken to people who have handheld this at 5 seconds. 5 seconds. Without a tripod. Amazing. So I'm looking forward to trying that. But the other reason I'd choose this lens, the 12 to 100 as opposed to the 12 to 40 that Olympus do, the quality of this lens is apparently superb. Okay, there's not a problem with the quality across the focal length that I can make out. I'm going to test that obviously, but this will give me a focal range of, or a focal length range of 24 to 200, which is exactly the same as I've got with my Canon gear. Okay, I've just got my Canon gear in 2 separate zooms, 24 to 70 and a 70 to 200. So this does the job of both those lenses, and I guarantee you, hand on heart, I can absolutely swear that that is going to be a load lighter. I can hold that like that quite a while. I'd imagine pretty much all day. I wouldn't even know I've got it on my back. The Canon I would definitely know, even with just the 24 to 70 around my neck, I can tell I've got it. So that's the exciting bit. This could be, again, this could be my kit. This would replace everything I've got. I would probably like to add the really ultra wide angle lens, the 7 to 14 onto the front as well. But we'll see about that. That's quite expensive, but we'll see what we do. So there we go. First impressions. Very impressed with the camera. Very impressed with everything it does. The Fuji I've really enjoyed using. I love the different film simulations, the Velvia, the Provia. Takes me right back to when I used to use film with all those different Fuji films. We used to choose different films for different jobs, and some of us had different preferences for Velvia, some like Provia. It's lovely to have that all simulated on the back of the screen. So fantastic, very light, nice to use, the Fuji. But I'll go through the pros and cons another day. I'm looking forward to using this next, and this kit. Oh, some more, well, not really exciting, but new news. I've got rid of the guitar. I can't actually play a guitar. I bought it and then went, ooh, this is a bit difficult. So there's a space there. Rather than these little odd box of blue tack, I thought I'd put some prints up there for you. So I've just had this framed from the framers down the road. You'll be able to see it more clearly. I'll put the picture on the end of this. That's the Honester Pass. There's a panoramic I did of 2 shots. Okay, I've got some more pictures I've had framed, which are down here, and they're going to go up on there somewhere to give you something else to look at. I'll put a link to that. Actually, I won't put a link. I'll put that picture up on the end of this video. So next time out, we're going to weigh the cameras. I'm going to weigh them in different forms. So in actual fact, if I want to compare the weight of this to the Canon, I just need to weigh this and the Canon. I'm going to weigh both lenses because that's the same focal range. The Fuji, very similar. And then I'm going to weigh all 3 kits complete together and see where we get to. So we'll do that before the lakes on Monday. Today's Thursday, so I'm going to try and do that at the weekend. And then next week what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some testing whereby there's a tripod set up, all 3 cameras from the same position, using the best possible resolution, the best possible quality settings that I can get, how I would use them in real life. I'll shoot them like that and we can compare them in Lightroom. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Olympus out one day with the kit on it, with the kit lens and the kit I'm given, and the Fuji kit. I'm going to take all that out the second day or another day, and then at the end, the last day, because I'm there for 4 days, I'm probably going to choose a kit and take that with me. So that will be the kit that I prefer at the time, and then I'll come back and we can discuss what I'm going to do next. Okay, well, thanks for bearing with me so far. Thanks for following, subscribe, etc. If you want to see some more